Welcome back to the Witch's Way podcast. I'm Kat.
And I'm Jamie. And tonight we are talking about altar magic, creating a space for your soul, a sacred space for your soul.
Yeah.
So many people tell us that, you know, it's hard to connect with my magic, or I feel disconnected from my magic, or just I don't have a place for my magic. I think all of these center back to having an altar. It's a great way to make your personal connection, to have your little space, to have your things that are just for you, because an altar is truly, truly just for you. Like,
you know what I love the most about altars? There's no limit to what you can do with them.
True.
There's no limit to how many you have. It doesn't matter how big or small they are. It doesn't matter what assortment of things that you have on them. You literally they can be anything as long as it has meaning to you, and the things on the altar have meaning to you, and they evoke
a feeling.
They evoke a feeling. Yeah, they invoke a feeling.
I think that's where we get disconnected, is when we don't have a space where we're like, this is just for my magic. Because we have spaces set out for everything else. This is where I shower. This is where I brush my teeth. This is where I get dressed. This is where I get clothes. This is where I fix my food. Everything else that we kind of do as a habit or a routine has a space.
That's true. I have my whole, that's a whole altar over there. It's a long table. That's like
It's like an entryway table, kind of, but bigger.
Yeah, it was. I think it was an entryway table, but it works really well because it's small enough to fit in the space, fits on the wall, and I can put lots of stuff on it and move them around and do whatever.
There's a lot of freedom in altar building.
There's a lot of freedom. There's all the freedom. I think it's trusting yourself, or just being willing to go with your intuition. And
your instinct.
I don't have to. Yeah. My altars don't have to look like the altars that I see on Pinterest or Instagram or on TikTok. You know, because I see some really. Some of the things that I see is like, whoa, that's intense. It's a lot, and it's beautiful, and it's got the whole witchy aesthetic, but actually, I don't really think that altars aren't about the witchy aesthetic. They're more about the witchy vibe that you want to bring into your house or into your space. I don't know how you think about it, but
I think it's a reflection for what you have going on right now, like what is meaningful at that moment or in that time.
Absolutely.
And then there's things that kind of stick around even longer. And, you know, I think with a lot of my altars, everything on there has a purpose, or it's something, you know, most of them have little collections of nature things that I find, because I run out of space on one altar and start shifting to another altar to dump all of my nature collections.
I basically have a birthday altar. It's not intentionally a birthday altar, but now that I think about it,
which one's that?
The one with the roses and the purple flowers that I was drawing.
Oh yeah.
Like, I got a really beautiful bouquet of flowers for my son for my birthday, and I love the flowers on it so much that when they started to die, I plucked them off of there before they were dead, and then spread them on an altar there. And then I put there's the candles with the numbers on them, and some are gold, because me and my grandson's birthday is only 10 days apart. So we had his cake, my candles, his candles. So they're all kind of over there. And it just kind of, it's like, to me, it's like reminds me of last month was birthday month for Scorpios in the family. So
that's not, And so everything on there sort of has a meaning to you, and it's usually something that's going on. For me, it's something that's going on currently, you know?
Yeah, it'll probably have to get cleaned up pretty soon, because we're getting ready.
They get changed.
It's getting ready. I mean, the reason why we're in this new spot tonight, and you see my funny tree that looks like a crooked dick.
Oh, Lord, not the crooked dick tree.
You know, you guys have seen the one that's sort of like that, right? They're kind of like
Mom, bent. PD.
What does PD mean? Okay, never mind.
I don't know. I don't know.
There was a guy. That's what my tree looks like.
I don't think it was that bad. I just think it's the way they were positioned. But I mean, I could see it. I could see it.
So we're in a new spot, and the house is decorated for Christmas now. So we'll be here for a few podcasts through the month of December podcast.
Yeah, all the December podcasts.
Yep. Until the house goes back to normal.
So the biggest thing about altars is that when people are disconnected from their practice, creating an altar can really help you feel connected to your practice. That is something that I tell people to do. Like, when they're feeling disconnected, find a space to actually have your magic in a spot that you can return to over and over again. So we're going to help change the fact that people feel disconnected from their practice by talking about how to build a sacred altar.
The first thing we're going to talk about is the spiritual psychology of altars. You know, they're more than just decor. altars are not just about aesthetics. Like I said, we see these things. I know I personally have felt the desire to like replicate some of the things that I see, and then I'm like, it's too much, can't do it. So I have to work with what I've got.
Yeah.
But they're not just about aesthetics. They're also about anchoring. And so help us. So anchoring is a psychology term.
It is, yeah.
And one of the ways to understand anchoring is like you go into it. Or also rooting. Rooting was the word that came to me when Jamie was explaining it. Maybe I should let the psychologist explain it because I'm going to mess it up.
You're not going to mess it up, but I understand your hesitation because she only learned about this like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. What anchoring is that it shifts your energy when you get into that place, that space around a person and a thing. And this could be energy goes up or energy goes down. You could think about every place that you walk into and how you might shift your own energy in conjunction with being in that space. And what I thought of was a library. So like I sort of gave this example of when we walk into a library, we understand that number one, we got to be quiet and that we're aware of all of our little noises. And if you got squeaky shoes on or if your belt's jingling or like your bracelets are going, whatever, like you're just so aware. So your energy shifts to this more heightened awareness in a library. Like that's what I think of, where it's 100% energy shifts for that. So anchoring means that when I think about a library, I can feel that shift because I'm familiar with it.
So the thing that came to my mind, because I had a religious upbringing, and I did not do that I did not raise my children with a religious upbringing because I didn't want them to have that. But when I used to go to church, when you walk into a church, I think you can, anybody who's ever walked into a church knows as soon as you walk through those doors, depending on what's going on, if the church service is going on or people are in there praying, if it's like not a church service and there's just people. I grew up Catholic, so you go into a church and there will always be people kneeling and praying and lighting candles and stuff like that. And so your energy would shift to what was happening in that environment.
Yeah. You would just become more aware. And when we talk about anchoring in psychology, the thing that it's important as we use it in this term of like creating an altar is that we want to anchor where we feel magical to the altar space that we're getting ready to create. That is what this anchoring thing would mean. That means you walk through your house and like you walk into your kitchen, you're like, I'm going to get food. You walk into your closet, I'm looking for clothes. You walk into your bathroom, I got to do some business. But when you have an altar, you walk up to your altar and the anchoring effect is, oh, okay, this is where all the things are that I have that feel magical, like whatever that feeling is for you. Sometimes it's a very lively feeling, like, look how fun this is, and look how it's so gorgeous, and oh my God, I love lighting all my candles, and like, look at smelling all the things, and the herb jars, and like all the little things I've created, because I'm such an artsy witch, I love to create. So that gets me excited. But then there's other times when I sit down, my outdoor altar is more like, when I go out there, I definitely get into a space where I'm like connecting with earth energy, like I'm thinking about the earth as a whole, I'm thinking about like spirit guides. That is for me an anchor. When I go to that spot in my garden that is my outdoor altar to do my magic, I'm anchored to it and know that as soon as I get there, I'm like, okay, let's begin. Here's where we get into our groove of doing things.
I'm going to have an outside altar one day.
I know. You're doing so great with your yard now.
When I grow up, I'm going to have an outdoor altar. I spy the people who cut up their trees and then put the big stumps and think about how can I get that thing into my car so I can use it as an altar in the backyard.
I picked up a huge stump like 8 years ago that I have, and it's still doing great.
How did you manage it? They're so heavy.
Well, this one was, it's not very tall, but it's wide.
Oh,
so, and it's got spikes like the roots, and I think that they were using it for something. So it's already it's cured, it's dried, because when wood is new or freshly cut down, it's much heavier, it's got all the water in it, but as the wood dries out, it does get lighter and easier to carry. But they threw that shit out with the garbage. I was like, oh, that's mine. Nope, I'm coming right back for that. Let me drop my kid off at school, and I'm coming right back.
Now I gotta look for it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to have that and it just feels like, it helps with the connection, and then you've got like a flat surface for working on and stuff. And
outside altars, I think they're beautiful. Altars, your yard is perfect for that. I'm working on my yard to make it perfect for that. So,
so that was our example of sort of to have a place that when you go to it, you're anchored in this feeling of this is where I do my magic, or this is just where I feel magical, because it doesn't mean that your altar has to be the place where you do spells. I think that's a big misconception in witchcraft, is that an altar is only for magical workings. It's not. It's for many. An altar can be anything that you want it to be, a collection of items that are just sacred to you. You don't ever have to do a spell at that place. You don't ever have to put together spell jars and, write your incantations, or it doesn't have to be that. There's lots of different kinds of altars. And I have little mini altars everywhere, and they all do something different. And the place that I actually do my spells is at my outdoor altar. So that would be the only place where I go there and I'm like, this is the thing. But I have one for family, I have one for protection, I have one for travel and safety, spirit guides, all of them. And then when I just want to activate it, which we're going to go through, you go to that altar and you do something with it.
And you know what? This becomes a place where your spirit knows how to show up.
Yeah. That's what the anchoring part is. It's like, this is where I do this at.
Yeah, your energy gathers there and grows there. This is why altars feel powerful even before you do anything.
Yeah.
There are spaces for connection.
Yeah, that's what it's meant to do, is to connect you to the things that are important. We're getting ready to tell you how to build an altar with intention, and all of this is about the connection part of that. The physical reminders of the things that matter in your life, how your magic matters to you, and that you actually matter, because it's a space just for you. And as women, what do we know about ourselves? We fucking overgive to everybody but ourselves. Your altar is a place for just you. It is your significant place that isn't for anybody else. You don't do it for anybody else. You do it for you. And that's what I love about them. They're so personal.
Yeah.
And I have people in my life trained, or they're just accustomed to it now, where if they see a little gathering of things, or even stuff that's just like, I'm not sure, I'm not going to touch that or move that. My husband is really funny about this. He'll see something, he's like, well, I didn't move that because I didn't know if that was doing something there, or I'm like,
is that rotting fruit for anything?
There has definitely been some questionable, things in the refrigerator, and I have never put a spell in the refrigerator, first off, but he has found jars of things that look like they're not doing well, and he's like, well, I just thought you were doing something with that. I'm like, no, honey, it's rotting. It's a bad sauce. I don't know. But I do think that it's cute that he considers that maybe.
I love that.
I know,
it's
really
sweet. He's very aware.
He's very aware.
The thing, that he's very aware of that your witchiness, and that anything could be a spell.
Anything could go,
Anything could be a spell.
And he's not even like, what's this shit in the fridge? He's just like, I'm going to ask no questions. I'm just going to let it happen. She'll let me know if I need to know.
If he found a pickle in the refrigerator with nails in it, he would not be surprised.
He would not be surprised, but he'd be like, what happened? That looks serious. Who did what? Yeah.
So how do we build altars with intentions? Let's talk about that.
This is the best part, and Kat already said it, right? That there's just so much freedom, and you can do whatever you want, and there is no right or wrong, and it's just about how much you want to give to it and what you want to do with it. But let's talk about the intention part of it, because this is where we can go from, do we want to get something off Pinterest or Instagram? See, I see way more altar stuff on Pinterest, I guess. I don't know. I'm old school Pinterest. Or do we want to build something that is way more connected to us? That's going to be the big difference when you build an altar, when you're ready to really go forward with it. And the intention is because this is where it's living. This should be it should feel like a living thing. When you approach your altar, it should feel alive to you with things that matter. If you buy everything off of Etsy or out of metaphysical shops and you just buy it and set it all there, it can look really pretty, but does it feel alive to you? Does it feel like things that have memories for you, or something that you built with your hands? This is where I get into that.
Or something that makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah. Not just pretty.
Yeah.
Not just pretty. Mm-hmm. But you want to, I think the best place to start, okay, and this is not the end all be all of how to build an altar, but pick a theme. Pick a theme of some kind. That's usually the easiest, just to wind down all of our excited witchy dreams of what an altar could look like.
Oh, and all the options that we have. Things. We have so many choices.
Representing everything in your life. Okay.
Yeah.
Pick a theme. Maybe it's the season. Maybe it's the month. Maybe it's a situation you're dealing with. Maybe it's just for spiritual growth. Maybe it's for your femininity. Maybe it's for your health. But you can pick a theme of some kind, okay? Whatever theme that you want. And then ask yourself, as you're putting things together, Like, what am I trying to call in right now? Because a magical working space is about grouping things together that have meaning, because you're trying to call something into your life, right? You're trying to invoke something that you feel like is outside of yourself, and you want to bring that into your life more. Maybe it's more family gatherings, feeling more love from something, feeling more love for yourself. But picking that theme can really help you then start setting things up. Like, does that go with the theme? Does that go with what I'm trying to call into myself? Does it just fit? So picking the theme really helps. I think of all of the different little altars I have. So I can't have one big altar because my whole house would be on it. Like, it would just be so many things. So I have lots of mini altars, just so you guys know. That's the way that I've divvied up all the things that are important in my life, is that I have many with a Y, mini altars. Many altars.
Many little altars. Many little altars. That sounds like a book.
You can let your altar have like a single purpose, so that it serves as like just an energy beacon for that one thing. Or you can have a collection of just like, this is my witchcraft altar. It can be broad like that too. You don't have to get very specific. But as you build them, I will tell you, they are addictive, and you will want to build more, and you will want to gather little things together, and
And you will always be looking in the thrift stores for little dishes and things like that.
What I need here.
Yeah, exactly. Like little metal dishes that are fireproof, that are fire safe, so you can put burn things in them, and
burning your loose herbs and stuff. Yeah, all of that. So the next thing would be bringing in the elements.
Yeah, so, and do this not because you think you should, but because each element actually activates something inside of you. So there's some feeling that thing that you want to add to your altar evokes in you.
And when we think about elements, we are talking about fire, water, earth, and air.
Elements. Okay.
I am, or spirit, all of that.
I was thinking about the things.
There's
so you're
also
talking
the
about
elements of the altar, but like specifically because those represent.
Sorry, I got that wrong. I was thinking of all the things, but she's talking specifically about the 4 elements.
Yeah.
Fire, water, earth, and air, and then spirit, 5 elements. So fire wakes your will. That's your activator. That's the thing that gets you going. That's what fire does, gets us going. Water softens your heart. Oh, it's water babies know that so well.
Oh, yes.
That's where our emotions, the water is all about emotions. Earth, that's where we're grounded. That's where we steady our body. Earth.
Yeah, stability.
So, earth, like in things that represent earth would be actual dirt, salt.
Plants,
anything like that. And then air. Harder thing to do, I feel like, but feathers are always really good for air.
Feathers are my biggest air element.
But feathers are all about the mind, like what you're thinking, what's going on up there. Clearing your mind.
Yeah. You could also use planetary associations, because I think of that, like some people have Mercury, like the god Mercury. So it's sort of a planetary representation of what air could be.
Yeah.
I don't do too many idol type things or gods and goddesses. I just never have. I don't know. My bracelet just came off. Universe just spoke. It knocked one of my bracelets off. I just haven't done that. I don't know. I just have never.
Well, I haven't done it either, and probably because I've never really seen anything that I liked that I was drawn to.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'll tell you what I would add if I got a hold of one of those little Venuses, or is that what they call them? The little Venus, or a replica of that, because that's like the goddess. Was that what she's called? The Venus?
Like the
one that they used to carry around. They used to carry around in their pockets.
It's not called a Venus. It's
what
something
is it called?
else. It's a mother something.
Anyway, there's these. Something with a V then. Anyway, if I saw one of those, there's a long time ago, they would carry around these little, it was a little chubby woman, which, was a goddess, and a little
it was
chubby.
The boobs and belly and hips and butt.
Yeah, it's like, it was a voluptuous woman. Yes. And to them, that was goddess, and that was mother, and that was earth, femininity, and that was softness, and all of those things.
Yeah. You could make one,
Oh, could I?
Yeah. With clay, air dry clay, or we could go to a pottery class, and you could be like, I want to make this naked booby belly woman.
I know how to get a picture of it too. I just right now the name escapes me.
And it's got the spiral, on the belly always for creation.
Lastly, of the elements is spirit, to connect you to the unseen. So spirit's kind of like what represents spirit? Circle.
Spirit, it could be, well, yeah, in the elemental signal signs.
It's a circle.
It's the
right?
circle, which is also the symbol for the sun astronomically.
So I have a lot of circle things, like where I
wreaths in general, circle plates, circle mirrors.
I have a circle mirror that I really like. That's because I like mirrors. I've always been drawn to mirrors for my entire life.
For me, you know, spirit is different because the way that I've always started my conversation with spirit is by lighting a candle. So crazy enough, I guess the element of fire also represents my team of light, my spirit side, because I light that, and that's when I know that that's the connection, like flipping the light on. I don't know, that's what I've always done, because I didn't have all the books and people to learn from. It was like I created my own shit, and so fire is my spirit sign.
The next thing we do after we get the elements is we're going to add, and this is the most important part, your personal energy.
Yeah, and I think that this is where we can go really, really wrong. And I don't usually talk about that. There is no real wrong, right? But we go wrong, we get this wrong because all the pretty things do not equal like their story. It doesn't give meaning to your altar because it's super pretty. And it's the only thing that sort of pisses me off about all the stuff online is they make these big elaborate things and they don't, and people could be proud of all of their handmade creations and all of that. And I don't do a lot of showing it because, like, for anything that I have, it's like then somebody's comparing themselves against that. And it's human nature. It's nobody's fault. It's just something that we do. And so when you see these big things, you're like, oh, fuck, well, what kind of witch am I if I don't have that? Or if I'm not doing this? Or like, I must not be in my practice enough. Or I'm still so new. Like, I can't do this other thing. There's so many things out there that help us feel not enough. There are not enough things out there that go, whatever you have is enough, and it changes over time, and like that's okay. We don't find those things as much. We find things to compare ourselves against.
Well, and you know what, and I raised my hand and testify about that because as a newer witch, and especially in a witch like in the 2000s, like you started your practice in the way early 1998. So before there was all of this, like way before
all of it. Yeah,
I came into it when there was all this stuff, and now you're like overwhelmed, like holy shit. I got to buy a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Like I've got my Amazon cart is full of things that I need, and that's how you feel. I need to have all this stuff to feel like a real witch.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Well, at least you didn't do 10 of them. You're usually
I tried really hard not to make a lot of noise. I'm a loud sneezer.
Okay. Yeah, I love it.
Anyway, so your Amazon cart is...
Well, not mine, but like that's how we can get, right? When we see all the things and it's like, oh man, well, I need this. Like when I think of certain elements that witches have where you're going, oh, that's a really set up altar, like that is curated nicely, like they've got the little thing that looks like a witch's
curated. That's what curated. It is. It's curated.
It is curated. It can be staged.
Yeah.
And because that's the only way that they feel confident to put it out online and to get the views and maybe to get the things. And it's like, well, that's great, but who are you helping? Like, help people with something, Talk about that a lot of this is handmade, maybe. That's what I like to express when I have stuff. I'm really proud of the shit that I handmade because it wasn't all easy and it took time and I had to like leave it at a shop and get it fired and then bring it home, and sometimes it cracked and it didn't go perfectly, and then there's shit I found at, Goodwill from 15 years ago, and I'm like, I'm still using that same little burning dish that I paid 99 cents for. Like, I love it. There's just things that are so practical, and you're like, I didn't have to go get anything that had like the triple moon symbol on it. Because I'll tell you, probably 8 years ago, Amazon came out with this really cute little, it's copper colored. You can find it now everywhere on Amazon, but it's copper colored, and the gold trimmings are all this like really cute lattice type material looking stuff. And then it's got a triple moon on it. And I bought
What
this.
is it?
It's a little dish. It's
a
just
dish.
a little bowl dish. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Oh, I mean,
It's a little bowl dish thing that you could probably burn things in, right?
Okay.
What we forget is that when you're buying things that are going to burn something, that metal is going to fucking heat up. Is that metal going to sustain that heat? And what is it going to heat underneath of it? And do you need something? So, like, we see this stuff and we're like, oh, that's what they have, like, let's use that. But it's actually very impractical. It's not well made. It's not really made for that purpose. It's made to look cute. Yeah. It is not made with the practical things in mind. And so I bought that because I was like, wow, I've never had anything store-bought like that with like the triple moon goddess on it. It's so pretty. I never use it because it doesn't... It's
not practical.
It's not practical. It's cute, but I feel like such a poser with it because I'm like, what? I don't even know. Like, you're pretty. You're real pretty. but I've never used you. And if I try to use you, you're not practical. So that just feels like I'm forcing the use of a tool that I bought. So now it just holds shit like crystals in it. It doesn't do anything. So it's just a knickknack. It's a knickknack now. It's a dust collector. It's an $8 knickknack that I got, that I'm like, well, I thought it was a good idea. It looks cute. But this is where we get it wrong, that we don't actually put things on the altar that carry our story, that carry like history with us, that we connect to. Remember in the beginning, anchoring? When you see a picture of your great-grandmother on an altar, there must be a feeling that can be evoked. I wouldn't know because I don't have one of those. But imagine if you had family heirlooms or history things or stuff you got when you were a kid or something that you traveled around with a lot, or, a pebble that you picked up off of a beach at the one time that you were wherever. That shit means something, because it can only mean something to you. Anybody else walking up to your altar would be like, so, what's the big deal? And everything to you has a story, though. You'd be like, do you know, I carried this pebble from the top of the mountain where I wasn't supposed to take it, but I wanted one memory of this thing, and so I have it, and that little rock is so special. And do you see how it's cut? It looks like a triangle. Yes, that is, I love this rock.
Jimmy's telling on herself because she went somewhere. Where was it?
Oh, you want me to say it online so I could get prosecuted? No, thank you.
Was it lava?
What? Was it my lava rocks?
Was it lava?
So you made me, I clenched my hands because I knew.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to make her tell the story.
Yes, I am one of those.
It was about 100 years ago, so if the police are listening, it's so old.
Well, they'd have to be speaking in Japanese to know anyway, so okay. It was in Japan. Yes, I admit that sometimes I take things when I've been asked not to. Only if the moment if it's significant, like I almost fucking died trying to do the thing, and I got up there and it was like, and then I had to run down the side of the mountain and almost missed the bus and all. Listen, it was a rough day. It was a lot.
What was the mountain?
Mount Fuji.
Mount Fuji.
Yeah, I climbed Mount Fuji all the way to the fucking top, and it was really hard. And there were little old ladies passing me, and I was like 20 something. But it is not for the faint of heart. So when you do these big things that you're possibly never going to do again, you may want to bring back a piece of it. Because it's not like cell phones were big back then. I didn't, cameras and pictures and all of that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So I may have brought back a piece from places. Yep. And leave pieces as well. I leave offerings where I go as well.
I picked a mushroom. I
love it. Well, at least you got something that could, kill you.
Now it's this like little dried thing, and I just love it. It looks so cool. It's dried and brown, and it's like
has so much character. Yeah. Now, where did you get that from?
Now I don't recall. It might have been down at the park down here.
So it was just local, though.
Yeah, it was local. Yeah, I haven't. I'm trying to think. I mean, over there on that shelf, the things that came from the farthest away are what you brought me from England.
Yeah. My mom really likes the history over there, so when I see little things, but they got to be small because I only carry a book bag over there, and I don't do luggage. I got to be able to pack it for her. So yeah, I brought that across an entire ocean for you.
Right?
See, it has a story.
Yeah, it has a story,
and I think it's from where the crown people are. It's not like the king and queen people, but the other crown people.
It's British royal family.
Yeah, it's British royal family peoples.
Which is my heritage. I know that I was like one of my ancestors was like the illegitimate child of the product of a affair between like a king and the maid, or a king and the, I don't know, the dresser,
a lady in waiting type person. It could have been higher than a maid.
But something.
Don't knock it down so far.
What's wrong with a maid?
Back then? Yeah. They were like indentured servants or something. Like you got sold. Yeah.
Anyway, so we were talking about bringing your energy in, and we got a little sidetracked. So,
I love the side conversations. Yeah. Like we went all the way to that.
I think one of the things that you wrote here I really like.
What?
And it's this statement. Your altar wants your fingerprints.
Yeah, it wants pieces of you.
It wants pieces of you, like your DNA,
your story. Yeah,
your
memories.
We all only have there's no duplicate fingerprints. So your altar wants that. So it wants a piece of you, just a tiny piece of you.
And you can always take the pieces back. It's not like you're sacrificing something to it. It's just a representation, because when you go there, that is where you'll get the feeling of like, this is truly my space. This is where, like, if my soul threw up on a really pretty tray, like, this is what it would look like. Crystals and dried mushrooms and rocks from the mountain and, like,
I have a visual. You don't even want to know what it is right now. When your altar is built with intention and personal energy, it becomes a sanctuary, not a shelf or a tray. It's a sanctuary.
It is, and it's personal. So that was why I said we witches, sometimes we get it wrong, is because we go with the aesthetics, especially in today's witchcraft culture.
And you know what? I wonder if that's one of the things that when you do that, if that really does make you, because I haven't done that. You know, I haven't tried to like duplicate what I've seen, even though I've seen some badass shit. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by that.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to have that, right? But I haven't done it. But I wonder if that's where when we do that, that's why we feel so disconnected to it, because we're copying something that we've seen somebody else, but it really doesn't have a connection to us.
Good point.
And that's where we just feel like, we're kind of like, what is this witchcraft stuff, you know?
It reminds me of the movie The Switch. It's Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman, and there's a cute little kid in it. And
she can remember all the movies. I don't know The Switch.
Well, it's because she wants a sperm donor because she doesn't have a man, Jennifer Aniston. Did I say that the first time, or Jennifer Lawrence?
That's really close to her
Jennifer
real life,
Aniston,
isn't it?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. But this movie is like 15 years
Jennifer.
old. We love you. But in the movie, so she gets the sperm donor. She chooses a guy. They have like a whole party for it, and then he's supposed to go in the bathroom and give his sample so that she can get impregnated later, right? The switch is that somebody else does that instead. And so the kid comes out not being like the fucking yoga guru, hot guy, bathing suit model, whatever. Can't remember what he was, but, it's somebody else. And the kid, because he doesn't know his family, he collects picture frames. And in the picture frames, he leaves all the original photos so that it's these families, right? And he makes up stories for all of them.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That I don't
sounds kind of sad.
Well, it's sad, but for him, he loves it. No, I think it's supposed to be sentimental.
A comedy? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a comedy. It's sort of a rom-com a little bit, but it's that he took something that doesn't really have meaning to anybody else. Everybody gets rid of the pictures, and he wants the pictures because he wants to make up the stories about the people, and like, that's my grandpa, and we went fishing at his lake, and whatever. Like, he makes up stories about the people in the frames, and that's what makes it personal to him. And honestly, it looks like an altar next to his bed. He has all these picture frames with all these black and white photos of all the family members and stuff that he doesn't know, but for him, it's very special, and it gives him peace, and that's like what he goes to bed looking at. And so with anything that you feel gives you peace, brings an element of something like that in, like, just use that, go with it, because you can always change it. And I mean, that's the fingerprint. That's what I was thinking of, the fingerprint. No two are alike, and what works for one person might not work for everybody else. And maybe if you do buy everything in a store and you put it all together, you really feel like it's yours. Maybe you do, and maybe that's okay for you. Like, that is also okay. That would be harder for me. I guess that's all I was saying with that.
Yeah, but if you do that and then you feel like
still disconnected
from it, then there's your answer right there. That you need to go into the woods,
collect some
go
shit.
through your old photos from, like, nobody has photo albums anymore or prints. I was just thinking, there's 3 photos that I would love to pull out. I'm going to pull them out now because I just thought of them. Like, there's a picture of my whole family when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
That I know.
The picture we were just talking about, where it's all 8 of us. My parents, 3 kids, the 3 little ones, then the next biggest one, then the 2 parents, right? And it's like all 8 of us in one frame. It's a black and white picture. And I love that picture because we're all together and we all look happy. And then there's a picture of all 3 of my kids laying on a bed. When we lived on Dodson, you, John, and Jolene, and I think Jolene. Oh my gosh! One of them's flipping the bird. Either John or Jolene's flipping the bird. But they're all just like this perfect age, and everybody looks happy, and their whole personalities come out. And then the last one is there's a picture I have of my 3 grandsons together when they're little.
Oh yeah. At my house on the bed.
Yeah, and they're just so cute. And I just thought about all 3 of those pictures, and I need to pull them all out together because they're really.
I know. Oh, that's the water element. It's softening her heart. Here you go.
It just really makes me feel like so nostalgic and like this is my life right here, right? Yeah. This is my whole life. This is my whole everything.
Life. This is my legacy.
Yeah, this is my everything.
So now what we thought the best thing to do after basically describing what an altar is for, how to put one together, is let's do a little, this is still about disconnected from your magic. How do we spend time with our altar that doesn't feel excessive? And again, it doesn't have to be a place where you actually do your magic. So I wrote something where this is like a 5 or less minutes, sort of battery recharge, with your altar. It could be a daily thing since it is small, but just to get used to feeling connected to that space. So this is a simple ritual that you can do in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Step 1.
Activate the space.
Activate the space.
Lighting a candle if you can.
Light a candle?
Light a candle.
Do something. Like, you can decide what the activate the space looks like, feels like, is to you. Maybe you come up and you put both your palms in the space.
I always like to light a little bit of sage because I love the smell of it so much. It just takes me to this whole place.
It anchors you.
It anchors me, yes.
See? You're getting
so
it. Yeah.
I love that. And then I like this, and I just, the smell. My whole mood changes when I smell sage. And so that's what I love to do. Not necessarily a candle, but definitely sage I'm lighting.
Yeah, if I come over frazzled, she starts lighting candles and lighting sage, and I'm like, oh, I feel better. Thank you. Yeah, that helped. That does help.
So Jamie said you could tap the table, snap your fingers, ring a bell.
Yeah, anything. Put your hands on the table.
Put your hand on it.
It's something that lets you know that your time is starting with your altar, like whatever that is. I put light a candle because, like I said, that is my way to initiate everything for me.
That's your thing.
But you know how some people knock on their tarot cards?
Yeah.
I find it ridiculous. I don't know. Like, I'm an old witch, I guess.
I like ringing the bell, but I don't have a bell, so.
Oh, now see, I have an old brass bell from a Goodwill. Oh, yeah. I hope it's a haunted one. I love how that's become a thing. All the haunted
that's step
little
1,
things.
activate in whatever way works for you. Step 2 is going to be to close your eyes and breathe.
And when we say breathe, and the reason you're closing your eyes is because you want to get rid of everything visually and you want to feel where you're at. And the best way to be in our body, to center ourselves, to bring all of our energy back home to our heart space or to your solar plexus, right in the middle of your gut, is to really to breathe and to pay attention to that breathing. And most people are like, take 3 deep breaths. Okay, you might feel like you're at the doctor if you say that. But take several breaths and just really feel where you're at in space and time in your body at your altar.
I feel
intentional breaths.
I feel like also like closing your eyes.
Yep. It takes away
all the distractions, if you will, from the outside world. So you're in a dark space with your eyes closed. That I find that helpful.
That's what helps you like center. When your eyes are open, you're extending energy out, looking at everything. Maybe you're scanning for safety. Maybe you're looking at all the cleaning you still need to do. I just got deja vu. That was so bizarre. So when your eyes are open, you're paying attention. All of your senses are going towards your eyes, right? Your energy is more focused on what you're seeing and analyzing all of that. And we can't help it. Again, it's a human thing. Our brain's built that way. When you close your eyes, you shut off that sense. And so you have to focus on your hearing. You can feel your breathing more. You're more aware of your body because you've now eliminated one sense and all the other ones start becoming heightened because it's like, oh, we lost our eyes. Shit, now we need to feel. We need to hear more. We need, So that's what happens when you close your eyes.
Yeah.
So close your eyes and breathe.
Close your eyes and breathe.
How many breaths you need is up to you, but just breathe into that until you feel relaxed is really what I wrote.
Yep.
How many breaths would it take for you to feel relaxed?
It would probably depend on the circumstances, but I'd say 3 to 5 probably.
Yeah. 8 to 10.
It would. I guess it would depend on how stressed I'm feeling at the moment. If my anxiety is really high, or I'm like super, if my energy is way up, I'm going to need to breathe a little more, longer, more breaths to bring it down.
Yeah. Also, morning versus evening. Like in the morning, it'd be super easy to connect.
Yeah.
In the evening, I probably need to breathe a little longer. This probably be a 10-minute ritual, not a 5. But step 3 is to then touch something on your altar. This is why the things that are on there should matter to you. Touch something on your altar. Make contact with this magical space that you've created, Let it remind you of who you are and why you are and that you're at your altar and like what you want from today. I mean, that's why it's a daily practice is like, what do I just need today? And you can touch an item that you're just drawn to. That's where you start leaning into intuition, where you just like randomly place your hand on something. You're like, I don't know, did I really choose it or did it choose me sort of thing? And you're just sitting and being with it. And this is where things can pop into your head. They're always fun. And that happens way later down the road sometimes. But then that's when you start journaling about shit. That's got to be like 2 podcasts away from this.
Yeah. The next step is going to be to speak a devotion, a prayer, or any words of meaning. Something simple like, I return to myself, or I honor my path, or I choose my magic. Just a few words that bring meaning to you, that have meaning for you.
Yeah. And, I put in there like a prayer, a devotion, whatever you call the mumblings that we do when we are talking to ourselves. And whether you say, I like to say it out loud, it helps speak it into existence. You could say it in your head at first and then speak it out loud when you finally have the words together. And this is where I lean into mantras heavily. When you repeat words, right, where that's what spells are. They're words put out into the world to physically manifest things, to bring them back into our lives. This is what you're doing with the words that you choose. Creating something for yourself. Maybe it's, I just know I want to love myself more, That's something I've used so many times in my life. I want to love myself more. And then that changes to, I love myself more. And then that just changes to, I love myself. And see, when I say it now, I crack a smile because I'm like, yeah, I do love myself.
I like saying it out loud too because it makes it more real. And, and it does put those words out onto the airwaves and, they travel and do their thing.
Doing their thing.
And lastly,
step 5 is just expressing gratitude. So when we shift from thinking about our problems or anything in our day and we shift to gratitude, you're leaning into that highest vibration that we can. Gratitude is up there with like the highest of the vibrations that we can reach.
Yeah.
So expressing gratitude in some way. And if you have to fake it till you make it, that is okay. If you are not feeling super grateful, but you're saying the words anyway, the more that you tell yourself this, the more that it will become like a belief within you. It will get stronger. So like a quiet just thank you to the universe, to your, team of light. If you're thinking of a crossed over loved one, if you're thinking a crossed over pet, which I do, whatever you're thinking, and you could just be thinking your higher self. You could be thinking, the existence, the plane, your parent, whoever, but give a thankfulness thing, a statement maybe, or just a thank you in general. I do sometimes place my hand on my heart. I do place my hand on a body part somewhere, sometimes it's like a crossed, like a self-hug almost, and when I'm sitting outside, I'm usually sitting crisscross applesauce, and then I'll put my hands deep in my lap and I'll do this little stretch where I breathe in and I shrug my shoulders a bit and to say thank you. It's like a full body activation when I do it. But this seals the energy because you're working with this, right? You want this altar to become a thing. You want to be connected to your magic. Doing something and saying that you're grateful for the experience, it seals the magic in you so that when you walk out the door and you go out into the day, you've already done the practice that is connecting you to your magic. And having that gratitude, that ending statement and ending it that way, it's a perfect way to sort of take it with you. You're not just expecting for things to happen to you, but you're also just grateful for the things that are and what you're able to do and that you're here now. So I like the gratitude statements, and then I always do a thank you when I blow out my candle. So when I light my candle for all of my rituals, altars, spells, whatever, it's always I welcome you in, thank you for being here. Sometimes I ask for help. And then anytime I blow out a candle, even if I didn't say anything when I first lit it, I always say thank you. I don't know why. I don't even know what I'm saying thank you to. Thank you to the candle, thank you to the light, thank you for fire, thank you. It's just it's such an automatic thing for me to say thank you when I blow out a candle. that I just do it all the time. And I don't always think about what the thank you is too, but it's it's just a little statement of gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we learned about the spiritual psychology of altars, right? Why they're important. They anchor us to our magic. They can get us back connected. It's a reflection of your practice and what's important to you. That's the biggest key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We also talked about building an altar with intention.
Using items that matter to you, that have meaning to you. Yeah.
Have a theme. Maybe dedicate it towards something. Say you want to work on something. Even if it's just to witchcraft in general, or your practice, or opening yourself up, or your magic, or being more intuitive. It's using the items that matter to you. And then lastly, we did our little ritual, which, I write these, and when I'm writing them, I have to tell you, I feel really silly, but I'm I hope that it helps. So I do hope that by me giving you a little 5-minute daily dedication at your altar helps in some way, or at least gives you ideas, because that's always the goal.
Remember, your altar doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to feel like a reflection of your spirit. And even a tiny corner can become a portal back to yourself, a little tiny corner in your house somewhere.
Or a box. My altar used to be in a box.
Yeah,
it used to be in a shoebox.
Yeah.
Because I was in the Navy. What could I do?
Right,
It was in a shoebox. Your magic deserves a place to live, and you deserve a place where you don't have to pretend, you just get to be you. And whatever that glory is, and whatever that is right now.
If this episode inspired you to rebuild, refresh, or finally start your altar, send us a photo.
I would love to see people's photos of altars.
We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok.
Oh, Lord.
What else? That's it, I think. Send us. That would be really cool to see.
I would love to see them.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
And if you guys want to see any, I'm actually planning on doing some altar videos for that, so you guys can see all the little altars that I have created, so that you just like, I don't know, you won't see big elaborate stuff with me. You'll just see little things that have meaning. And I just, to see something that's more simple can sometimes feel more satisfying. So you're like, oh, okay, I don't have to do this big elaborate thing. So I'm going to be putting out pictures of all of my altars and sort of explaining them and why I chose them and what they mean and what they're for. But I'd love to see your guys' altars.
You really would.
I love it. I love seeing the creativity of other women, Like, what gets you? Like, what do you like?
How do you express your soul?
Yeah. If your soul threw up on a plate, what does it look like? That's a terrible thing to say. That's because I'm a boy mom. I blame that on being a boy mom.
As always, keep weaving your magic into the everyday and be blessed, witches.
We love you guys.
See you next time.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.